Okay, friends, I have to tell you that I'm working on a 2007 Mercedes-Benz ml350, and I'm going to tell you a little story about it that kind of is going to teach us all how to do things the best way, which is not the dealer way, but the driveway way. So what I have to say is that about 6 months ago, I was driving my car. No, a year ago maybe. I was driving. I got to the inspection center to inspect my vehicle, and all of a sudden I received a message which read saying, "Drive to the shop work, to the workshop without shifting gears." Obviously, I panicked. I didn't know what to do. I could not do any reverse or drive. That's what I received as a message. So I got off the car. I tried to inspect it, and I end up checking the battery, which I have just put in. It was a brand new battery, but somehow when I got to it, I noticed that the negative pole was loose. It was not the first time that I work on a battery, and this never happened to me. But it looks like somehow it got loose, and probably that was why I got the message. So I didn't know what to do because I had no tools in my car. But a nice gentleman stopped by. He was going to inspect his car. He says, "Can I help you?" I said, "Well, I found out that the negative pole on my battery is loose, but I have no tools with me to tie up the bolt." He says, "No worries. I'm not a mechanic, but I have some tools in my car. I have a kit." So he went to his trunk. He took out the kit and he gave it to me. He says, "Use it while I go to inspect my car." I say, "Okay, good." So I went on and tied up the bolt. By the time the guy came back, gave him his tools, thanked him, and I left home. Everything was fine. About 6 months ago, I was driving during the evening, and while I was trying to make a U-turn, I went into a driveway, and when I went to go from drive to reverse, I got the message again. I would say the mysterious message again. But then I went reverse. It let me go into drive, and I got home. I was about 20 miles away. What can I say? I was thankful that I got home. I drove my car to the driveway. I turned it off. I turned it on again. So I said, okay, this is good. But I didn't get any message again. And I drove the car since then until 2 weeks ago that I was driving the car in the evening again, about 15 miles away from home. All of a sudden, I received this message, even though I was only going forward. Oh boy, I panicked. But I brought the car to my driveway. I stopped it, and I turned it off. I was safe, right, in my driveway. I didn't have to go to any shop. Especially, I didn't have to go to the dealer. The dealer? This dealer. If anybody has experience, knows what I'm talking about. So anyway, I turned the engine off, took the key out. I left past a few minutes. I put in the key. I did this in order to, maybe the computer, something was wrong with the computer. Maybe it was going to reset itself. So I put in the key, turn it, and I got absolutely nothing. The starter was not doing anything at all. No click, click, nothing. Because sometimes you get a click, click because either the battery is dead or the starter, something wrong with the starter. Okay, it's obvious that I'm going to say that I panicked again, because now I know that I didn't know what to do. But it came to my mind that I should check the battery, the pole, the negative pole again. I checked on the negative pole. It was not loose. It looked good. So next morning, I went into YouTube. I went to visit my friends on YouTube to find out what do they suggest. What is that something I can do in order to make my car go again? And I saw different videos, and one of them I liked. It looked very easy. It was a trick to reset the transmission. It was a matter of not even 3 minutes job, maybe 5 minutes. I tried that. The guy was very convincing, but it didn't work. I did it again. Maybe I was doing something wrong. It didn't work. I kept on looking into the different videos, and one of them said, there is a little battery inside there that I know about. I know about it. They call it auxiliary battery. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this battery. This little battery right here. It's a 12 volt, 1.2 amp. This is supposed to help with the electronics of the car. Obviously, everything is electronics in this car. And this is supposed to help. I checked it. I found it to be less than 2 volts. It had 2 volts. Less than 3 volts, I'm sorry. So I went into eBay. I ordered one. It didn't say exactly Mercedes-Benz, but it's a copy. About 4 or 5 days later, I received it. I say, okay, I think this is the answer. I put it in. It's all the way in. When I'm saying in, let me tell you that Mercedes-Benz on this ml350, it has the battery in here. Not much you can see because it's late in the afternoon today. It's under the passenger seat. So you have to get the big battery out in order to get to the auxiliary battery. Anyway, I put it in, and at the same time, while I checked the voltage on the small battery, I also checked on the big battery, which was new a year ago. This one was 12 volts. The big one was 12 volts. Okay. I went into the cabin of the car. I tried the key. Nothing. Okay. Nothing. So what am I going to do next? I went to YouTube again and kept on looking at videos. I found one that said, this can be caused also because of the level of the transmission fluid. So, here we go. Okay. I opened up the hood of my car, and I looked over here. I looked back there. I looked sideways, inside. I looked sideways. I looked on this side. I looked somewhere around here. There was no way to measure the level of the fluid, of the transmission fluid. So I took off the first cover. Nothing here. The only thing that I found was this one right here that you pull and you check some kind of fluid, but this is the motor oil. Okay. I say, okay, what is the stick that measures the transmission fluid oil? Nowhere. I try to look behind this. Nothing. So back to the board. Into YouTube. I said, and I asked, where is the stick for the transmission fluid on this 2007 ml350? You know where it is? It's in the back of the second cover, which I had to remove from here, but I never got to open it. But I did go out and bought this nice quart of transmission oil that is good for my car. Of course, not the one that Mercedes-Benz recommends. But the thing is that once I got there, it says that it's all the way in the back is a seal. It's sealed. So I said to myself, if it's sealed, it's very strange that it needs to add transmission fluid. So I didn't do it. I never opened the quart of oil. I kept on looking here and looking there. Then I found another video on YouTube. That guy, he said, you know what? I didn't have to spend thousands of dollars in order to start my car, because I found out that the problem was right here. So he removed this, he removed this piece, took everything apart, he opened it, and there is a kind of a strong fuse in here. that connects the upper part to the bottom. So he said, look, $350. That's all I spent. I put it in. I went inside the car. Boom. And my engine was running again. Okay, that sounds economical and easy. I didn't get to it because the weather got so cold, and the next day I didn't get out. But when I did get out, I came out and I said, let me check. Let me check because of another video. Let me check on the fuses, which are here. I had to use my wife to check which one of these is the starter. And I never got to it because my wife was busy. But I said to myself, okay, this is it. I'm gonna call my mechanic. My mechanic is a nice guy. He's very economical. And when he puts his finger on something, that's it. I called him last night, but he didn't answer. It was about 10 o'clock. I called him this morning. He didn't answer. Maybe he's busy. I left a message, but that's up to that point that I got to. So what else is left? I have to show you something that I connected to my, whatever you call that, in front of the driver, under the steering wheel. I checked with this. It showed me that there is no code. So there was nothing for me to say that, okay, this is wrong, I'm going to buy it and put it in. Then I put one of these at the time, even though they worked some time ago, but now somehow they don't connect to my tablet. So they did not help me at all. Okay, this is my meter. And I said to myself, okay, let me do one more thing. I know that batteries give 12 volts, but the engine doesn't start because of the 12 volts only. The battery has to have some power, the crank power. And this battery right here, I'm getting old. It says something about 900, 1,160, 95. Okay, I can see even with my glasses. Doesn't matter. So what I did is I took my battery when I bought it. Well, you don't have to guess. It's AutoZone. I said, guys, can you check my battery, please? It shows 12 volts, but I wonder why it's not starting my car. He said, no problem. He brought the tester because I don't have one. He brought the tester and he says, okay, the crank power is at 18%. I say, really? And how much is supposed to have? He says, you're supposed to have 100%. Okay, now everyone knows, right, that we had just found the problem. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the video for a little while so I can put this battery in, because the other little one is already inside. I'm going to put the battery in, and you and I are going to hear if the engine is going to start or not. Okay? I don't want to take the time to watch me put the battery in. I'm going to take a few minutes. It doesn't take too long. You can see the little battery, the auxiliary battery right there. I'm going to connect the negative pole because I took it off before. I say, why should I have it on all by itself? So I'm going to take care of it in a few seconds, a few minutes. And I'm going to use this tool that I don't think you ever have seen it. If you did, it's because you are as old as I am. We used to use this to remove a battery or to put it in. And let me tell you, for this battery to get inside that hole, I have to use this tool, this rubber tool. I have it for about, I'm not going to lie to you, I have it for about 45 years at least. Okay, so I'll see you in a few minutes.